My stepmother tried to sell my mother's jewelry, so I bought it all back and gave her costume jewelry instead. The funeral was over 3 months ago, but I still couldn't bring myself to go through all of Mom's things without feeling like someone was squeezing my chest with a vice. Dad had remarried about 2 years after Mom passed, and honestly I thought I was okay with it until this whole mess started. His new wife seemed nice enough at first, always bringing casseroles to family dinners and asking about my college classes with what felt like genuine interest. But something changed after Dad had his minor heart attack last spring, and suddenly she was acting like she owned the place where I grew up. I was staying at the house for a long weekend, helping Dad organize some paperwork for his medical bills, when I noticed the jewelry box missing from Mom's dresser. This wasn't just any jewelry box either. It was this gorgeous hand-carved wooden thing with intricate roses that Dad had bought for Mom on their 10th anniversary. Inside was everything that mattered. Her engagement ring, the pearl necklace from her grandmother, those little diamond earrings she wore to my high school graduation, and about a dozen other pieces that held memories I couldn't even begin to explain to someone who hadn't lived them. My stomach dropped when I realized it was gone, and I practically ran downstairs to find Dad reading the newspaper in his usual chair. When I asked him about it, he looked confused for a moment before his face got that uncomfortable expression he always wore when he had to deal with anything remotely confrontational. He told me his wife had mentioned something about getting the jewelry appraised for insurance purposes, which seemed reasonable enough until I pressed him for more details, and he started fidgeting with his coffee cup the way he always did when he was hiding something. The next morning, I decided to drive around to a few local jewelry stores and pawn shops, just to see if maybe she really was getting things appraised like she claimed. The third place I stopped at was this little family-owned shop downtown, where an elderly man behind the counter immediately recognized me when I described some of the pieces. He told me a woman had come in 2 days earlier trying to sell exactly what I was looking for, and when I showed him a photo of my stepmother from my phone, he nodded and said that was definitely her. My hands were actually shaking as I asked him if he still had any of the pieces, and thankfully, he explained that they had a 3-day holding period for all jewelry purchases in case the original owners wanted to buy things back. Everything was still there, sitting in a small tray behind the counter, looking exactly the same as the last time I'd seen Mom wear them. The shop owner seemed to understand the situation without me having to explain too much, and he let me buy everything back for exactly what he'd paid my stepmother, which was honestly way less than what any of it was actually worth. Driving home with that familiar jewelry box sitting in my passenger seat felt like getting a piece of my mom back, but I was also angrier than I'd been in years. The betrayal wasn't just about the money or even the jewelry itself. It was about the complete disrespect for my mother's memory and the way my